I did a video a while back on how it was a sin to marry outside of Israel. I did other videos on how destructive such an activity was. I stand by those videos. But the one about it being sin, after further study into the matter, I've concluded this is incorrect. I will never recommend someone marry outside of Israel, but for those who do, I would not be able to say they committed a sin. The principal verse used for it being a sin is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 1 through 4. The Most High tells Israel he is going to give his people the land, and says to them they are not to marry their sons or daughters to the people of these lands they are going to displace. Verse 4 is the key in saying why the Most High does not want us to marry with these people. Some of our brothers have concluded this command only refers to the 7 nations mentioned in the verse. The issue with that conclusion is Ezra 9:1 and 1 Kings 11:1. Deuteronomy 7 mentions 7 nations we are not to mix with. Ezra and 1 Kings mention nations which are not among these 7 nations, such as the Edomites and Moabites. The land simply meant whatever place our people would be. The 4th verse in Deuteronomy 7 explains how those who would choose to marry the people of the various lands will be carried off into sin and idolatry. The instances of King Solomon and the people in the time of Ezra and Nehemiah are all instances where the people did this. They started doing abominable acts due to a mixing of cultures through marriage. This is what the Most High wanted to avoid. But is there an example of someone marrying outside of Israel and it working out? Yes. His name is Moses. Moses had not one, but 2 wives who were non-Israelites. The first was Zipporah, a Midianite, given to him by the priests of Midian. The other was an Ethiopian woman. In the case of the Ethiopian woman, Aaron and Miriam spoke out against Moses due to him marrying this woman. Did the Most High reprimand Moses for an obvious violation of an alleged law for marrying outside of Israel? He did not. But why? Unlike Solomon, the people of Israel, and the priests, Moses did not go off. His wives did not drive him into idolatry. The Most High called Moses faithful in all his house. The one thing Moses did do wrong was step out ahead of the Most High in taking the water from the rock. But this had nothing to do with his wives. Much of what we see today when it comes to interracial marriage is exactly what the Most High warned us about long ago. The majority of our people who marry outside of our people are coons and race traitors. They take on the mentality of the nations they marry into. They celebrate the various holidays like Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, and Thanksgiving because they are abiding by the customs of their mixed family. This is exactly why the Most High told us not to do it, and the examples are plenty. His mandate wasn't about blending of races, but about blending of cultures, which would compromise our walk with him. Many of you will now do victory laps on how you can finally go confess your undying love to that white woman you always wanted. While I can't accuse you of sin for doing so, I might be able to accuse you of sin for not loving your neighbor. Our Israelite sisters are the most beautiful women on the planet. Why would we skip over superior female stock to be with an inferior specimen? Why do we see being with a non-Israelite woman as a come-up? Why do we mess around and whore out our Israelite sisters, but decide to become upstanding and virtuous husbands and fathers, and make wives and mothers of foreign women? Many of our brothers have outright contempt for our women. It's not that you can't find a good Israelite woman to be with. Due to whatever trauma you received growing up, you flat out don't want to be with an Israelite woman. You hate her, and this is a sin. Is a Moses situation or a Ruth the Moabitess and Boaz situation possible? Can you find a Rahab? Sure, but this isn't the case for 99% of you. You link yourself to those who also despise your people, and you follow their lead. We've heard of many tragic instances where these relationships have ended in death, either by the woman they married or someone related to that woman. I have no sympathy for these cases because I see it as the Most High's judgment for hating your own people and despising your Israelite sisters. Regardless, this is about being accurate and truthful with our brothers and sisters, not about pushing a narrative. If you're going to marry outside of Israel, you are not sinning, but you need to reflect on why you are stepping over your Israelite sister to be with a foreign woman. Many of you are making romantic decisions from trauma and bad programming, and you need to deal with those issues. The Most High understood many of our people are not well grounded in their own culture and customs, and this is especially true in our modern day captivity. Foreign romantic relationships are all that is needed to completely dislodge us from our identity and heritage and make us minions for our enemies. This is the very reason interracial marriage is now being heavily promoted in movies and commercials. Interracial couples in TV ads has become standard, something which was never the case just a decade ago. Loving your neighbor as yourself means preferring your neighbor as yourself. To prefer your people as yourself. The vast majority of our people in interracial marriages are, in fact, sinning because the bond is causing them to go astray into idolatry and self-hatred. Marriage is more than just two people falling in love. It's a conglomeration of resources and communities. How can a strong nation be built if we link ourselves to communities that hate us? As the saying goes, just because you can doesn't mean you should.